Hello everybody, it's me and Grace here in the truck with a few minutes, so we thought we'd give you a little story here, a little taste of the joy of trucking. My name's Kevin, I'm a solo driver for Crete Carrier, and you're watching The Joy of Trucking. That's our channel. And this is Grace, one of our little dogs. So last month I had her sister Kiva out on the truck with me for a month. She had a really good time. She's a lot of fun, very interested in everything that's going on, you know, always up looking out the windows and watching for me to come back when I go do something. And Grace is her twin sister. She's a slightly different character. She's a little more laid back. She's very calm. She gets nervous easier. She's not as bold as Kiva, and she's perfectly content to just hang out, just sit in your lap all day if you could, you know. That's what she'd do. She'd just sit there. So I want to tell you about her first week on the truck. All right, the first day we left the terminal in DeLand, Florida, but we had a live load appointment in Tampa, and it was for 11 o'clock in the morning or something. So we didn't have to really stay on the truck and get going at 4 in the morning or something like that. So we got on the truck in the morning and got down to Tampa, and she got to see the port of Tampa. So you go through a big gate. I have my TWIC card, and they said nope, that doesn't work here. You got to come in the office and get a pass. So you tell them where you're going and the load and all that stuff and who you're going to see, and they give you a piece of paper, and then they let you in. So we had a live load of salt, lots and lots of bags of salt on the truck. So she was there, and they loaded the truck, and she thought it was very interesting. She slept through the whole thing. And then we took off and got up I-95. So from Tampa up I-4 to I-95, up through Georgia and into South Carolina. We stayed at the South Carolina Welcome Center that night. Yes, her first time in the truck all night, and at a rest area, so there's lots of grass and trees and stuff, and she got a nice long walk. I got to sniff every single tree. There's something real interesting about every tree. I think every male dog in the country has peed on every tree, and she has to go sniff and check them all out. Anyway, day 2, we delivered that salt to Columbia, South Carolina, and then went to Orangeburg and picked up our next load. And I have to say, we stop every 2 hours, which I usually do anyway, but in addition to running into the bathroom and back out to the truck, I will hook up the leash and take her for a walk so she can do her business too. And she doesn't always, but at least she has the opportunity, and she gets to get up and move around, because while the truck's moving, she doesn't get up, she doesn't look around, she doesn't want to look out the window. She wants to stay right here on the floor beside me and just wait until we stop, and then she gets up and wants to know what's happening, you know. But while the truck's moving, she's like a stone. She's totally calm. I'll hand her treats, or you know, if I'm munching on veggies, I'll give her a little bite of something. So she'll take that, or maybe she'll just turn her head away and like, no, not good enough, you know. Can't you do better? So that's what it's like having her in the truck while we're moving. So the other thing is stopping every couple of hours so that she can take a walk. Also, she's not allowed to get out of the truck at the customers, and so I have to kind of plan that. So if she's already been in the truck for a few hours and we're arriving, I try and stop somewhere before the customers so she gets to do her business, so she's not in any stress or anything, because sometimes you get hung up there. Like for a live load, you could be there a few hours, and so we kind of got to be ready for something like that. The second night, we were in Jasper, Alabama, stayed at a Chevron truck stop. It's like a gas station, but they had room for trucks to park there. And then on the third day, we delivered our load to New Albany, Mississippi. And once we had done that, we drove up to the Kimberly-Clark in Corinth, Mississippi. And both of those stops were, here you go, have a treat. Want a treat? See? Not, could be better. Sorry. You want some ketchup on it or something? So both of those stops were near Tupelo, Mississippi, all right? So we've gone from Florida to South Carolina, across to Mississippi. Now we've picked up a load, and we're going. Now this was a tough day. It was a long day. We dropped one load, picked up another load, went all the way back down by Atlanta to Fairburn, Georgia. and dropped the load there. And then there was a hot load that had to be picked up that night. So up north of Atlanta in Adairsville, picked up that load, drove like 5 miles to a truck stop, and pulled in with minutes left on the clock. It was very, very close, but we made it. So that day was 608 miles and 4 different stops. That was a very full day. Long, hard day for Grace. Yeah. So the next day, back up to Tupelo, Mississippi, just where we were the day before. It was kind of tricky, that load, because I got into the truck stop so late at night. That load had to be in Tupelo at a certain time, so I actually split my sleeper break. So I did like 8 hours and then took off, got up to Tupelo, and then delivered that load, picked up again at the Kimberly-Clark in Corinth, Mississippi. And then because I had split the sleeper break, I had to stop and take another 2 hours to complete that break before I could go further that day. And we made it to the West Memphis terminal on the other side of Memphis in West Memphis, Arkansas, and made it there for the night, where I did a full 10-hour rest, and so we were able to start fresh the next day. But she got to see the terminal in West Memphis. It's a new terminal. It's very spacious. There's lots of room in the parking lot, so we had a nice quiet night. We had a very peaceful night staying there at the West Memphis terminal. So Grace really liked that terminal. Day 5, we're off and running again, all the way to Paris, Texas. Delivered the load there, got it there on time, and then ran down to Sulphur Springs, Texas, because there's a Love's there, and we started our 34-hour reset, even though it was only, we were resetting on the 6th day, but we had put in a lot of hours, but also we were trying to get up to Mankato, Minnesota, so we had a certain sequence of loads that would get us up there, because we wanted to work out of the Walmart distribution center there for the following week. So we had ourselves a reset in Sulphur Springs, Texas. So when we arrived there, I went and found some liver and onions, and then we got out the folding bike. What? Yes, you remember the folding bike. Got out the folding bike, and we have a little dog trailer. So Grace gets to ride in the trailer behind the bike, and we toured around Sulphur Springs that afternoon and the next day, and had some fun, and we shared some ice cream at Braum's, and she got to do a lot of running around. We went to a park, and of course Love's has the dog parks, so she gets to go in there and sniff. Yeah? That's better. Sniff everything in the dog park. Anyway, for the 5 days that we ran, we did 2,586 miles and hauled 5 loads in those 5 days. So Grace had quite an eventful first week, and she got to enjoy a reset in a really nice place. The town of Sulphur Springs is beautiful. What I can say about Grace in the truck, she travels well. She doesn't move around at all while the truck's on the go. She's very chill and just hangs out, unless something falls on her, like a roll of paper towels and might have fallen off the bunk and dropped on her. And she's up and looking around like startled all to hell. But other than that, she stays perfectly still. And when we stop, then she gets up right away and wants to go out or see what's going on and, you know, check everything out. And if I have to leave her in the truck, like I go in to take a shower or go fill up some water jugs or something like that, she does not get up on the seat to look out the window. She stays down there on the floor in her bed and just waits till I come back, whereas her sister would be in the window and looking around and watching me come back to the truck and going crazy when I show up, you know. And Grace, she just kind of chill in her bed, and then when I come back, she pokes her head around the seat and says, "Hi, nice to see you, I'm glad you're back." So she's a little bit different in that respect. Also, if I go into the truck stop for a shower, I'm gone for a bit of time, I'll set up the dog puzzle. So you put little treats in all these different little doors and things that slide and move, and she has to figure it out. And she is just as good as her sister at it. You'd think she's not really into it, she's not really trying very hard, but when you watch her, she takes her time, figures it out, and then in no time at all, she's got it all done, and she gets every single treat. So she's very good at that puzzle. And at the end of the day, like I said, she doesn't jump up on the seats during the day, and she won't jump up on the bunk, but I pick her up and put her in the bunk. So we go to sleep together at night, and we wake up in the morning all glad to see each other and ready for another day. So that's the story of Grace's first week on the truck, and I hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up, comments down below. Let me hear about you and your dog. And what do you think of my little puppy dog here? Isn't she cute? Yeah, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and don't forget your treats. See you down the road. Go to it. There's one. There's two. Three. And four. Okay, those were easy. How are you gonna get those ones? I ain't doing it for you. Nope. Think about it. You're a terrier. You like figuring things out. Doesn't use her paws like Kiva does. You know they're in there. Yeah, you know they're in there. What are you gonna do? Take a nap? No, I'm not helping you. No. It's all up to you. You go ahead. You go get it. That's right. Go get it, Grace. Go get him. Go get him, Grace. Not that hungry, are you? Mm-hmm. Okay. There we go. Got it. Oh, what's behind there? Oh, there we go. And again. Aha. One underneath? Yep. That's a smart little girl. Yeah, that's a smart little girl. Now you're using your feet. Yeah, you're learning. Yep. You already got that one. Now you got it. Now you got it. Good girl. There's another one. Your foot now. That's it. That's it. Yes. You're getting it. Keep going. You're doing good, Grace. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Aha, there's one. All right, I think you got 3 to go. You got the idea. Keep going. Those pesky lids. Eh? Let's tear one off. Yeah. Do it again. Do it again. Just 2 more. Keep at it, Grace. go. One more. Last one. Can you figure it out?